Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So AT&T is touting 1,000 new cell sites for FirstNet. This is what really sets AT&T apart, and it's going to be hard for Verizon and T-Mobile to really match this over that period of time because they don't have the same incentives to build sites in the areas that FirstNet is going to because they're getting a reimbursement from the government. This is funded specifically by the government, and it's a 10-year investment initiative with FirstNet authorities to evolve America's public safety network and expand its dedicated Band 14 spectrum to more public safety-centric locations. No other network or carrier is going to be able to replicate this because they don't have the same type of access to funding that AT&T does. And this is maybe the first round of 1,000 cell sites within that 10 years, right? There could possibly be a round two of another 1,000 cell sites and then the third round of another 1,000 cell sites into areas that no one else covers. That's why I'm not skeptical of the AST and AT&T deal with the satellite, but I do question why that was needed because AT&T is putting cell sites up into very, very remote areas. I mean, they cover almost 3 million square miles of the US natively, and they're still building sites and they're still going and they're still getting reimbursement. So the use for AT&T and AST, the satellite, is going to be very, very limited. AT&T today does not have a lot of white spaces that they don't cover. They have a large network with this reimbursement, and it's getting larger. Like I said, that could be the first round of 1,000 cell sites. Who knows what else they can build? And here's the thing. The problem is nobody can disapprove or deny any of this. If AT&T goes through the proper channels, right, with FirstNet, and then FirstNet is like, okay, you guys, we need a cell site here, right? And then if FirstNet goes to Congress and they tell them, hey, we need a cell site here for first responders, they can't say no. They have to fund it. So that's why I'm saying even outside of these 1,000 cell sites and what they've previously already built, if there are still areas that aren't covered and there's a lot of traffic or not a lot, even just a little bit, right? Cell sites need to be put there. And Congress and the government, they have to fund this. They have to fund it. So it's a win-win for AT&T. It'll put service there for first responders, but then also the consumer will be able to take advantage of that coverage as well. So this is a pretty big deal, right? This is in a bigger picture, it's going to be hard for Verizon and T-Mobile to go to those places without that type of funding. Now, if there's allocated funding, local funding that the carriers have access to, then they might build it. They might build out some of the areas, right? But I just don't see a path for T-Mobile and Verizon to fully go to the areas that AT&T is going to. I just don't see it because there is no incentive. They get no reimbursement for any of it. So AT&T is in a good position, right? This was a very important contract for them to get with FirstNet. They got it since 2017. They've been building, and now they're getting additional reimbursements. And this is even before we hear anything about 4.9, right? 4.9 will also be paid for by the government to touch all cell sites with that upgrade. So AT&T is in a fantastic position, and the network is going to be very, very, very large. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.